Hello? Hello? Mister?
Manila ஓகே சார், நீங்க பேசலாமா? ஒரே ஒரு நிமிஷம். மணியனா சார் பேசுறாங்க, அதனால மற்றவங்க எல்லாமே மியூட் பண்ண சொல்லிடுங்க. ஓகேவா? Yeah. So could I start? Hello? Okay, sir. You can use it. Yeah. So, the video is not coming. I will see. Okay, sir. No problem. Yeah. So, Mani has asked me to speak about opportunities in the social sciences of plus two. Especially he was asking me for on history, anthropology, and sociology. Yeah. So, well, I think after plus two, I uh, will be able to understand what is what in society. You will be given with opportunities, choices of engineering and basic sciences and social sciences and literature. These are the areas where you have choices. So, among all these choices, what makes you to choose social sciences? Of course, economics are being covered by Madam Madelai. Social sciences overall purpose, the purpose of the social sciences is largely to transform a person into a perfect individual. That is very important in any society. And that is the base for human society. And then sociology of a social scientist is that அது உலகம் புரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்கும் காம்ப்ளெக்ஸ் சொசைட்டி புரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்கும் அது பற்றி பேசுறதுக்கும் ஒரு இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஸோ அது எப்படி அதை பற்றி பேசுறது, அது புரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்கு நம்ம ஒரு டெக்னிக்ஸ் வேணும், ஒரு மெத்தடாலஜி வேணும், வேஸ் ஆஃப் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் வேணும். ஸோ அந்த வேஸ் ஆஃப் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் எப்போ வரும்னா when you go through the social science education. So therefore, social science education is actually in this country. Once the utilitarian sciences came into existence, utilitarian sciences started dominating the knowledge systems. யுட்டிலிட்டேரியன்னா இன்னைக்கு டிகிரி வாங்கினா ஒரு மாசத்துல 2 மாசத்துல ஒரு வேலை வாய்ப்பு கிடைக்கிறது யுட்டிலிட்டேரியன் சயின்ஸ் சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ சோசியல் சயின்சஸ்ல அப்படி ஒரு நிலம் இருக்கா இல்லையா என்று கேட்கறதுக்கு முன்னாடி எல்லா நாலேஜ் எல்லா டிகிரிஸ்லயும் நல்லா படிச்ச எல்லா சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ்லும் வேலை வாய்ப்பு இருக்குன்றது உண்மை. But based on how you take any subject seriously, and if you take it lightly, then you will have the problems of getting job. If you take any subject seriously, certainly you will not have the problems of getting job. So that is the base for my understanding for any discipline. It's not that only engineering is to get to. We can understand what is happening with engineering now. So how difficult it is for many who do medicine and other disciplines to get employment. And for those disciplines, you need to invest a lot of money. Unfortunately, that should not be the case. All engineering disciplines, as well as medical medicine, everything, all the educations have been freely available to each and every citizen. But unfortunately, that is not the case. We need to talk about that also, but not today. So, for my understanding, most of those individuals who have concern on the society or who think the way society works, the way societal structures work, the way social systems work, the way economy works, the way politics works, the way a person uses the social systems and customs to discriminate another, we certainly would need to have social scientists, social scientists, so their contribution is immeasurable. So, as far as history is concerned as a discipline, history, we all believe that it is the mother of social science. And as far as to study history, of course, we know that throughout the nation, at the international level also, have almost all colleges and universities are offering from the undergraduate to the postgraduate and PhD. So history never runs out of joining the space to study. So every college, in Tamil Nadu itself, எல்லா காலேஜ்லயும் ஹிஸ்டரி இருக்கும். ஸோ அதனால ஹிஸ்டரி படிக்கிறதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு இல்லாம இருக்கிறது அதெல்லாம் ஒன்றும் இருக்காது. எப்பவுமே எல்லா ஹிஸ்டரின்றது ஒரு ட்ரெடிஷ்னல் டிசிப்ளினாவே இருக்கிறதுனால ட்ரெடிஷ்னல்னா இட் இஸ் பேஸ்ட் ஃபார் சோசியல் சயின்சஸ். ஸோ அதனால எல்லா காலேஜிலும் என்ன வரலாறுன்றது ஒரு நாட்டுக்கு இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ்ன்றதுனால எல்லாரும் படிச்சுதான் தீரணும் அப்படின்றது ஒருனால. ஸோ தட்ஸ் வை தி பிரசன்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஹிஸ்டரி டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் இது ஆல்மோஸ்ட் எவ்ரிவேர்ன்றது நமக்கு, எக்ஸப்ட் இப்போ வந்துட்டு இருக்கிற மாடர்ன் இப்போ வந்துட்டு இருக்கிற ப்ரைவேட் காலேஜஸ்லயோ இல்லை இப்போ வந்துட்டு இருக்கிற ப்ரைவேட் யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸ்லயோ இல்லை இப்போ வந்துட்டு இருக்கிற even some of the central universities, they have not started the history department. Otherwise, ஒரு 20 வருஷம் 30 வருஷம் 50 வருஷம் 60 வருஷம் இருக்கிற காலேஜஸ்ல யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸ்லயும் ஹிஸ்டரி டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் கண்டிப்பா இருக்கு. அது காலேஜஸ்ல பிஏ இருக்கும், எம்ஏ இருக்கும். யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸ்ல லாஸ்ட் 10 yearsல எம்ஏ தான் இருந்தது. Now they have also started integrated courses where once you join in the integrated MA, so you can be a undergraduate student as well as a postgraduate student in central universities, as well as most of the state universities also started integrated. In our department in Bharatidas University, we also have the integrated MA apart from regular MA. So joining into history would not be a problem, I believe. At central universities, you have to write the central university test. Not all universities joined in the common entrance test for central universities, but many of them joined. Whoever joined, they're conducting the common entrance test for the history discipline. So you can see their website and see if they have integrated after +2. If they have integrated, you'll be joining in the undergraduate. So if they have the integrated MA program, you can give the entrance test. So colleges and universities, if you look at colleges, you join in BA history, and universities you will join in integrated MA because their BA will not be available. So that way you can look into history. So as I told you, history is very important as a discipline, and everybody. The growing importance of history in the world today is that not only the identity of the nation, but is also identity of the citizen, identity of the community, identity of the individual. Everything seems to be based on history, and so therefore to bring in a society where everybody treated equally, everybody's history is important. So it's not the history of the elite alone, but everybody's history is important. So therefore everybody must focus on not only learning the history of the world or history of the nation or history of everything or history of things that you are concerned about, but also history of yourself, history of your identity, history of your community. In a sense, I'm not saying that you don't understand. If you try to understand history of your community, overall you will be say, if you are a minority person, if you are a Dalit, if you are a woman, your history is not written for a long time. So therefore,
what you are doing by focusing on the history of your community, you will be trying to fill the gap because history was undemocratic for a long, long time because it is being written by the people who have become historians, mostly historians of India or of the world, mostly those who became acquired the capacity to become historians for all from the allied communities. So therefore, they have written the history of the nation. History of the nation is equated with the history of majority community. So it cannot be that cannot be alone history of the nation or history of the world, so history of everything. So it has to be inclusive. So that inclusivity comes when historians emerges from the margins. There has to be women historian, there has to be Dalit historian, there has to be a Marxist historian, there has to be a historian of science, there has to be historian of tribal communities, there has to be historian of aboriginal communities, there has to be so like that. By becoming the historian of a specialized small community, we are not saying that we are writing the history of the community and that way we are proposing some sort of an inclusiveness. Certainly not. So if you look at history until 1980s, the history of the people is not written. Forward in American history, people's history of America, or else later 1980s, Ramjas was about the history. So how we can say that history was not focusing on the lower sections of the society. So therefore, we have to see historians emerging from these margins to provide the completeness towards the history, totality towards the history. The subject. So therefore, this is one side. Apart from that, there are historians who can be a light person, but focusing on the history of everybody, or history of Dalits, history of Adivasis, history of women, history of gender. So there are also historians. But however, if you find the gap that your history is not written, it is better to choose the history there probably 25 years your intention to choose history may not land you on a job immediately, but your contribution is much more higher, but that does not mean that you will not get job. As I told you in the beginning, that any person who takes the subject seriously will get the job. That is the true truth throughout the world. But if you take it, if you do any subject as interestedly, you will not get the job. So, getting job and then acquiring the ability of analyzing the thing. Now, if you, as a person, if are capable of analyzing things, and you become a good speaker, a good writer, then you will not be waiting for anybody to give the employment. Your skills of understanding society, analyzing the society will certainly will respect your abilities and qualities, and then automatically that ensures your livelihood. So I don't think that any person who takes the discipline seriously will end up not having any job. So therefore, any social science for that matter, not only history, any social science for that matter, no person will run short of employment or opportunities to excel. Now, the wide range of possibilities for a historian or a student of history after MA, that many of us know that you can be a journalist, you can be a writer, you can be a researcher, you can be a teacher at the government schools, you can be a teacher at the private schools. I mean, schools after all offering social sciences, also social studies also. So therefore, broadly under social sciences, you get into any school. So I personally, I would not like private schools or private colleges, but then that is how things are happening. So apart from social studies in the government colleges and schools, you have the, as far as employment is concerned for a student of history, you have government college, private schools and I'm not sure colleges. Colleges of this, if you have arts and science colleges, they're also having space for the student of history. So, in the employment space, you can have in the areas where employment இருக்குது, you can be a teacher, you can டீச்சராகவே வேலை செய்யலாம், அப்படியே நீங்க லெக்சராகவே வேலை செய்யலாம். அதுக்கப்புறம் கவர்மெண்ட் இருக்கிற எல்லா காலேஜஸ், என்னென்ன காலேஜஸ் இருக்கோ 40,000 ஆர்டு காலேஜஸ் இருக்கு இல்லை, ஸோ அந்த காலேஜஸ் எல்லாத்தையும் தமிழ்நாட்டில் என்ன காலேஜஸ் இருக்கோ, ஆர்ட்ஸ் காலேஜஸ் இருக்கோ, அதில் கண்டிப்பாக ஹிஸ்ட்ரி இருக்கும். So, you can be a teacher in school, you can be a lecturer in the college, and after that, you can be assistant professor in the college as well as in the university. And then, based on this specialization, if you establish yourself as very, appreciated scholar, you have plenty of research institutions where teaching is not there. டீச்சிங் இருக்காது, ஆனால் ரீசர்ச் பண்ணலாம். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் MIDS, மெட்ராஸ் இன்ஸ்டியூட் ஆஃப் டெவலப்மெண்ட் ஸ்டடீஸில் அந்த மாதிரி ஐசிஎஸ்எஸ்ஆர், அதெல்லாம் ஐசிஎஸ்எஸ்ஆர் இந்தியன் கவுன்சில் ஃபார் சோசியல் சயின்ஸ் ரிசர்ச் சப்போர்ட் பண்ணுற இன்ஸ்டியூஷன் சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ அதில் நிறைய இன்ஸ்டியூஷன்ஸ் இருக்கு, அது பேஸ் பண்ண இன்ஸ்டியூஷன்ஸ் இருக்கு. CDS ஃபார் டெவலப்மெண்ட் ஸ்டடீஸ்ன்றது இருக்கு திருவனந்தபுரம். ஸோ MIDS சென்னை இருக்கு. அப்படியே நிறையவே அந்த மாதிரி இன்ஸ்டியூஷன்ஸ் இருக்கு. அதுல என்னன்னா, if you are a person who establish yourself or required skills, and the required skills if you got, you can be a scholar in these institutions, and can you focusly do research in these institutions. So research institutions are it. And apart from that, நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா there are very a number of non-governmental organizations, what we call NGOs, and you can be intellectual of independent capacity, where you can speak, write, and then things like you can be writer to magazines and all that. So all that is needed for a student of history. அவங்களுக்கு என்ன தேவைப்படுதுன்னா, தமிழ்ல எழுதலாம், இங்கிலீஷ்ல எழுதலாம். என்ன தேவைப்படுதுன்னா, ability to analyze, read and write. ஸோ அந்த ஸ்கில்ஸ் இருந்தால் கண்டிப்பாக எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட்டுக்கு எனக்கு பிரச்சனை இருக்காது. யூ கேன் பி அன் இன்டர்நேஷனல் ஸ்காலர். Internationally, you can establish yourself as a famous scholar by again acquiring those skills. You have international institutions, almost all universities, general universities. That means if there is a university particularly for the medicine, especially that is not the case with the West. In the Western societies, most of the West and Europe, America, North America and Europe, most of the universities are universities of such kind where all disciplines exist. You do not have a special university like a university for sports and all that stuff. I don't think that is the case in the Western and North American universities. And it is very recent trend where you have a sports university, you have a railway university, you have a labor university. The labor university, of course, focused on the social sciences, where you have a science and technology university, especially for one single subject and all that. That is not the case with the Western universities, especially the North American universities. And Indian universities are also the case till recent times. Only specialized universities for specialized disciplines was only after recent phenomenon. That is, we can say last 10 years or 20 years. But otherwise, you have the university, meaning of the university is that it offers almost all, especially the non-science, non-engineering, basic sciences would be there, and engineering would not come into the boundaries of the university. Engineering as an institution, technological institutions, that's what they're called, especially, but university does not include the engineering. So almost all the universities, as I told you, can be an assistant professor, you can be beginning, and you can be a researcher. If there is a time gap between becoming an assistant professor after your degree PhD, if there is a gap of getting the proper employment, you can be an assistant research associate, and you can be working on a sociology project. There's also an opportunity to give you to acquire skills and under under an expert who is already served himself as a researcher and service professor in assisting. So if you join as a research associate under some project, so that is also there. So we have NGOs, research institutions, and as well as you can be a journalist. Many historians are today topmost journalists in this country. Journalism, of course, basic. If your degree is basic, history, you can be a journalist later. And of course, you have the entire. Though only recently, IAS and the civil services exams mostly covering history. There used to be a dominant percentage from the history discipline in the civil preliminary, but of late I think they have reduced the content of history. But however, history plays a dominant role in the and anyway you can from the central services, that is the civil service of India, to that of the state service groups and all, group one services. If all the state service commissions, we have a great opportunity as to history. So then, apart from that, tourism industry, that is of late where the tourism industry is taking students from access to the ancient Indian background and tourism background, where you are capable of explaining the structural and archaeological structural importance of the place. Historically, you're able to analyze. So that is some of the new areas. So therefore, you can be a journalist, you can be a person who can start the tourist industry if at all you are interested. You can be a person who can, in fact, activists, most of the activists nowadays, especially working in the NGOs, are from the social science background. Now, I may not have to tell you, உங்களுக்கு சொல்ல தேவையில்லை இப்படி ஒரு ஆக்டிவிஸ்டோட கான்ட்ரிபியூஷன் to the general society or to solving the long standing problems என்னன்னு நான் உங்களுக்கு சொல்ல தேவையில்லை. ஸோ அந்த அளவுக்கு அவங்களோட இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஹிஸ்ட்ரி படிச்சு அதில் ஹிஸ்ட்ரி எஃபோர்ட் qualities of historians, that is reading, writing and understanding, analyzing these qualities if we acquire, then I don't think that you would be run short of an employment or you will be out will not get employment for a long time. So maybe there will be a very less, a small gap from the degree that you take and the time degree you take and to the good variety should emerge, good readers, good speakers should emerge from the social science disciplines. So that history will guarantee you, I think, for my understanding. So anthropology is also anthropology compared to history and anthropology. I must confess that anthropology and sociology, unlike history, ஒரு limited space these are unfortunately have not emerged into popular mass subject. Colleges also offering BA Sociology. Loyola College is anthropology also have less limited area of accommodation. Most of the central universities, because they are specialized and metropolitan institutions, அப்படியே நீங்க டவுன்ல மெட்ரோபாலிட்டன் சிட்டிஸ்ல இருக்கிற காலேஜஸ்ல most of the central university, even some state universities also, Madurai Cameras has sociology, population studies, the Bharatiya University has population studies, so that is also sociology department. Then Manumaniam Sundarnar also have sociology department. Apart from this, you have the colleges, most of the colleges probably in Chennai will offer you BA sociology. Even if that is not the case, you can join in history, basically. Then at MA level, the scope is much higher to get into sociology and anthropology. You can be historian for BA, and later you can be sociologist or an anthropologist. So you can use say you are interested in anthropology and sociology, but there are no seats and no admission available in colleges, so huge number of colleges. That is the truth. So what you have to do is that you join as a student of history for BA, then you can shift it to sociology at MA. So I don't think much of a specialization is needed for the student of sociology and anthropology at MA level. So we all know that history is a basic discipline for social sciences. You can launch yourself as a student of history, and then then into sociology. At MA level, most of the universities are offering, especially central universities. Certainly, they'll have the department. And of recent times, there are இப்ப டைம்ல என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா the degrees என்றதும் sociology, particularly sociology இல்லைன்னா, ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் பாப்புலேஷன் ஸ்டடிஸ் என்ற ஒரு டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் இருந்தால் அது சோசியாலஜி தான் இருக்கும். பட் சோசியாலஜியான டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் இல்லாதனால அது சோசியாலஜி கிடையாதுன்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. பிரான்ச், ஸ்பெஷலைஸ்டு பிரான்ச் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்லலாம். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி ஸ்டார்டிங் சோசியல் சயின்சஸ் இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். அதுல நீங்க சோசியாலஜி இருந்தும் ஆகணும். சோசியாலஜி இருந்தால் தான் நான் ஜாயின் பண்ணுவேன். சோசியாலஜி ரிலேட்டட் சப்ஜெக்ட், ஹைபனேட்டட் டிசிப்ளின்ஸ்ன்றது நமக்கு நிறையவே வந்துச்சு. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் எக்ஸ்க்ளூசிவ் இன்க்ளூசிவ் ஸ்டடீஸ் அப்படின்னு நீங்க வரும்போது அதுல பிசிக்கல் சயின்ஸும் வரலாம், சோசியாலஜி வரலாம், ஆந்த்ரோபாலஜி வரலாம், ஹிஸ்டரியும் வரலாம். ஸோ தேர்ஃபோர் நீங்க எக்ஸாக்ட்லி லுக்கிங் ஃபார் சோசியாலஜி, ஆந்த்ரோபாலஜி அப்படின்னா அதுக்கு ரிலேட்டடாகவே நமக்கு ஐசோலேட்டட் டிசிப்ளின்ஸ் எல்லாம் வருது. ஸோ அந்த ஐசோலேட்டட் பாப்புலேஷன் ஸ்டடிஸ் இருந்தால் கண்டிப்பாக அது சோசியாலஜிக்கில் வரும். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் சென்டர் ஃபார் சோசியல் சிஸ்டம்ஸ்ன்னு ஜவஹர்லால் நேரு யூனிவர்சிட்டி இருக்கு. அப்படியே அந்த ஒரு ஹலோ ஹலோ
சார்,
முடிஞ்சா?
உங்களுக்கு முடிஞ்சது இல்லை சார்?
ஓகே ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ.
ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ சார்.
ஓகே.
மணியண்ணா, மணினா
ஹரி ஹரி மணி அண்ணன்.
ஹலோ
சிஸ்டர்.
மணினா.
ஓகே, ஏதாவது டவுட்ஸ் இருந்தா கேட்க சொல்லுங்க.
அண்ணா சார் வந்து டிஸ்கனெக்ட் ஆயிட்டாரு.
ஓகே,
இதுனா கேட்க சொல்லுங்க. நெக்ஸ்ட் மீட்டிங்ல நம்ம அதை கிளாரிஃபை பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
ஓகே ஓகே
ஓகே ஓகே.
ஆடியன்ஸ் ஏதாவது டவுட் இருந்துச்சுன்னா கேளுங்க, அப்படி இல்லைன்னா நம்ம ஃபினிஷ் பண்ணிக்கலாம்.